Hello friends, this is Bhupender. Today I am going to start my first video on YouTube and the topic is tenses. Tenses are different genre of other part of speech in English grammar and having a important significance as compared to other part of speech in English grammar. Without knowing the rules of tenses, we can't make a sentence even more correctly and more meaningful, and I can't and even we can't use a sentence in a different way. So let us discuss about tenses. This is my first topic, and you know very well that what is tense. Tense is a time of an action and also state of an event. It is very basic to understand the definition of tenses. I write tenses here because it compiles 12 tenses 12 times in one unit. That's why I write tenses. It doesn't affect the terms tenses and tense. It is same, but it having a different part of time and tenses, including in one topic, including in one subject, that is called tenses. So tenses is basically, if I write about simple definition, it is a time of an action, and state of event. Right. Basically, whenever we use verb in a sentence, it not always talk about tenses. Exception one sentence, type of sentence in English grammar that we doesn't say that is a tense, that is exceptional case in the English grammar. And other, we use verbs. We need verb in a sentence. If we want to make a sentence, a meaningful sentence, we need a verb and subject and object too. It not always required to use object in a sentence. I run, I eat, I swim, I dance. These verbs denotes object in a sentence. I write is something like this: I eat. So this is a complete sentence without including object. I eat food. If I write this way, then we can say this is the object, I is subject, and eat is a verb. So we can say it is not always compulsory to include object in a sentence, right? And the sentence, if I write oh, this word, you can say wow, these are the sentence. This is also a sentence. Can you see that this is a sentence? Yes, it is a sentence. It's a complete sense of understanding that this is a expression of sureness, and wow is you can say that is a wonderfulness. So this is a you can say example of not having a verb in a sentence, right? So these are the exclamatory sentence. We do not use verb occasionally, that's right. So oh, I miss the bus. So in this sentence there is a verb missed. So it is said that when we use make a complete exclamatory sentence after exclamation word, we can use verb even. So not compulsory to using these words of using a verb in the sentence. So these are the complete sense of giving emotions to others. Wow, oh, and what. These are the kind of say These are the exclamatory sentence, exceptional case. So verb is a very important part of English grammar, part of speech. So verb plays an important role in tense. So time and tense, it is also very important. So time is a different concept, whereas tense is a different concept. So time and tense, tense is a complete arrangement of subject, object and verb, isn't it? Time is only talks about the happening of an action. It is a universal fact about happening of an action. It is a non-universal facts about. It is a different thing to understand time and tense. I am going to discuss about only about tenses. So we have 3 time zones which can be defined in different way. 3 tenses, basically past, present and future, right? 3 time zones, merely major 3 time zones. The tense can be divided into 3 major time zones, that is the past time zone, present time zone and future time zone, right? So everything is going to happen, going to take part in future time, is included in the future time. Whatever is going that is included in present time. I am teaching, I am discussing about something, so this include in present scenario. Where what happened in past time include everything in the past time, right? So it is not about happening of an action, it is just about taking place of an action is required to different time zones. So let's discuss about past, present and future. Let's discuss about. So each tense has 4 aspects. Each tense has 4 aspects. To understand better, I am going to define further. That is the simple aspects, simple indefinite aspect, right? The second aspect is continuous aspect, and also it is also called imperfect aspect. It is called imperfect aspect, right? The third one is perfect aspect, and the fourth one, that is perfect continuous or perfect imperfect. These are the 4 aspects of each time zone. So basically we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are 4 aspects in past, 4 aspects in present and 4 aspects in future time zone. We can say that there are 12 aspects in tenses. So how many aspects in tenses? 12 aspects. Aspect is talking about the subpart of tenses, right? Subparts. So it is simple indefinite aspect. The second word is continuous aspect. We can also say is imperfect aspect. The third one is perfect aspect, and the fourth one is perfect continuous aspect. Yeah, perfect imperfect aspect. It is also called. Right? These are the 4 aspects. I write it for only for to understand you about how many subparts of tenses. So let's discuss more about tense. So अगर हम इस चीज़ को देखें, दैट इज़ अ डिफरेंट वे. सो टेंसेज जो है वो हमें टाइम के बारे में बताता है और वर्ब के यूजेस के बारे में बताता है, कैसे हम यूज़ करते हैं. आई राइट इट वे. द स्कूल is going to open next day. This is a sentence. The second one, the school opens next day. Third one is the school will open next day. I write three sentences in different tenses using of different tense. The first one is present continuous, right? The second one is present simple tense, present indefinite tense, and the third one is future simple tense, right? These three types. But the meaning of these three different tenses is same. Same is the concept of the school is going to open next day. This sentence is correct. The school opens next day. This is also correct. And the school will open next day. It is also correct. But using these different sentences, having a different concept behind it. What is the different concept behind it? This sentence, the school is going to open next day, it is a you can say it's not fixed at the time of speaking. Not fixed. It is a indefinite conception, you can say. The school opens next day, it is also indefinite, but in the term of its near future, it's going to happen surely. It is absolutely fixed. It is a fixed plan. There is a unfixed plan that is going to happen next week. Unfixed plan that is somewhere in future it going to take part. The action is going to take part. Right, it is not fixed yet at the time of speaking. At presently, I am in the present scenario. But in the second sentence, the school opens next day. It is a fixed, and it near future. It comfortably, it going to happen. No way. So the school will open. It is a near simple future. It is talking about simple future. The action is going to happen in a simple way. It's not fixed, not unfixed, but it is going to happen, but in a simple way. So these are the basically different way of using tenses, but meaning is different. Meaning is the same, sorry. Not fixed, unfixed, and simple future. The action is going to happen in a simple way in near future. So this is a part of tenses. Most probably when we use this term in official purpose in school, universities and other bodies, only for fixed plans. If we are sure about happening of an action near future, then we only use present simple tense, because it fixes the action for the future. Apart from other sentences, it's not fixed the you can say plans, fix the plan or action, but it confirm the plan for unfixed and for simple future. So let's discuss more about. So I hope you enjoying the video. So I have already told you about there are 12 aspects of English tenses. So let's discuss about the first aspect, that is maybe the past, maybe the present. Most probably we use present aspect firstly, but past is already happened and present is going on. So let us discuss about present. I live in Delhi. I am living in Delhi. What is this? So these are two different meaning, and looking like that both are present tense. Yes, absolutely, both sentences are used in a present tense. This is a present indefinite tense and this is a present continuous tense. But which one is correct? Both are incorrect, both are correct. One is incorrect, one is correct, whatever is. So let's discuss about the first one. I live in Delhi. She lives in Delhi. The verbs in V1 form and that V4th form, that is living. So that is the fourth form, that is the first form, and it's right. I see lives. So it is fifth form, that's right. So I live in Delhi. This is a you can say a permanent action. I live in Delhi permanently. It means that action is permanent, right? In the second sentence, I am living in Delhi. That is not a permanent action. It is a temporary action. So maybe I live in Delhi for 5 to 6 months, for 2-3 days only. So this is a unfixed plan. It is not fixed for longer time. As I speaking, at that time I am living in Delhi. It means that is a temporary action. In the first sentence, it is a fixed action, it is a permanent action. That is the difference between I am teaching you. It means that at the moment I am teaching, at the moment I am reading, at the moment we are learning something. So this is a temporary action, and we learn English. It is a permanent action. So this is a difference between a temporary action and a permanent action. So in present continuous tense, we always use temporary action. That is a present continuous tense that happening at the time of speaking. That is called temporary action, right? But whenever you use verb in a present indefinite tense, the verb automatically concerned about permanent action, right? So let's discuss about. So verb plays very important role in English tenses. So let's discuss about verb. So verb, we have V1 verb, V2 verb, V3 verb, V4 verb and V5th verb, right? So these are the verbs when we use according to the sentence type, according to the tense type. So V1 verb and V5th verb having the same you can say concept, using in present tense. Present tense. But V5th verb only use with present indefinite tense. Only use with present indefinite with singular subject and he, she, it के साथ हम यूज करेंगे V5th verb का यूज. Only works with the present indefinite tense, right? But V1 form not only uses present simple tense, but uses past simple tense with only use with future simple tense. V1 use. Also use with after modal auxiliary verb. If I write I will eat, always use V1 verb, not V5 verb. Remember this one. I will eat or I eat, this is also called V1 verb. Right? When we make the sentence negative, we also use V1 verb, like I do not eat. So this is also V1 verb. So various uses of V1 verb, but V5 verb only works and only used with present indefinite tense, only with the singular subjects and with singular pronouns like he, she, it. Remember this one. So if I'll suppose one sentence, I have a car, I have a car and I had a car. So this verb have is V1 verb and this had is a V2 verb. This is a past simple and this is a present simple, that is used in the present indefinite tense. This is a past indefinite tense. I had, right? It talks about possession of having a car. Having a car, have a car is a different concept. I will talk later, but I am just talking about V1 form and V5 form. What is different between V1 and V5 verbs? So let's discuss about. So present indefinite tense, V1, I give example like this. These are example of V1 verbs, right? Like V2. V2 verb is second form of verb, second form of main verb. I am talking about main verb. And if the sentence having modal auxiliary verbs and helping verbs, we make them in second form. Like example, if I write only main verb in sentence, I use the second form of verb. I ate food. This is a V2 verb, right? But I make it negative. I did not eat food. So this did is in the past form of helping verb. Make the helping verb in past either, or you can make the second form of main verb. If you want to make the sentence negative, you use helping verb in the past. If you want the simple sentence in a past form, use the main verb in a past form. Remember these things. So I did not eat food. If suppose I use modal auxiliary verb, so modal auxiliary verbs have use only with the past. I would eat food. So only would is used to imply that verb having past form. Remember this. I never say I would eat food. This is incorrect completely, because would is already in past form. So why we use ate in past? That is a main verb. This is a modal auxiliary verb and this is a main verb. So remember this thing, the V2 verb only with, when we use simple form, we use main verb in past form, and when give the helping verb or modal auxiliary verb or main auxiliary verb, make use of the past form of the verb, helping verb. So I hope you understand, right? So I ate food. Remember? Third one, V3, past participle. Past participle form of the verb used in the perfect. When the sentence is perfect, already happened, we use V3 verb. Let's take example. I have eaten the food. I have eaten the food. The eaten and have become the past participle form of the verb. This verb never come alone in a sentence. It always come along with a helping verb like has, have, had. Also, it's not only required using has, have, had, also come after is, am, are, was, were. To be verb is, am, are, was, were. When we make active to passive voice, we always use these helping verbs, and after we use third verb V3 form in passive voice. Is gone, am gone, are gone, was gone, were gone, I have gone. So these are verbs used in perfect tense. It may be used present perfect tense, it may be used past perfect and future perfect. Right? Remember these things. And the fourth form is ing verb, which is continuous. These are continuous verb, perfect, simple past, present indefinite, past simple, future simple, and this is the only works with the present indefinite tense, works with only with singular subject and singular pronouns. So we fourth form ing, I am going to sleep. I am going to sleep now. So I am going, it is going to happen now at the time of speaking. So these are the five main verbs, how we use verbs in a sentence and make accordingly to the different I can say tenses. So this is my first introduction of tenses. I hope you understand well. In next video I am going to include all the present tense uses and functions. Thank you so much for watching this. Have a nice day.